Today, I bring to you the latest update in regards to the Nancy Guthrie case. It's been 68 days since 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, the mother of NBC's own Savannah Guthrie, vanished from her home in the Catalina foothills of Tucson, Arizona. What began as a missing persons report on February 1st, 2026, has spiraled into one of the most high profile and baffling suspect kidnapping cases in the country. There were signs of a struggle and a destroyed Ring doorbell camera and a family left in agony. Savannah Guthrie returned to the Today Show at her desk expressing a haunting fear that her own fans could have been responsible for making her mother a target.
Welcome back, 7:21 on your Tuesday morning. Time to get the celebrity scoop with TMZ.
Yeah, Jackson Bu Hai joins us now live from Los Angeles with more. Jackson, you all have been in on this, the investigation, of course, looking for Nancy Guthrie since the very beginning, and you have an update here to this story.
Yes, so as many people across the country know, we were one of the first people to get both the ransom notes for Nancy Guthrie and also demand letters for people that allegedly knew where Nancy Guthrie was, asking for Bitcoin in return for information. Now, we haven't gotten any of these letters for about 5 weeks now. Nancy Guthrie's been missing for over 2 months at this point. So imagine our shock yesterday, the same day that Savannah Guthrie returns to the Today Show, we get another demand letter from the same person that has been offering to rat out the perpetrators of this crime for nearly 2 months. Now, the person's request is that they want 1 Bitcoin. They want half for the information that they have now, and they want the other half for when her body is returned. Now, the person in this ransom note, or this demand letter, excuse me, is claiming that Nancy Guthrie is definitely dead. Now, the first thing we did was turn this over to the FBI, and the FBI think that this has, no basis to it. There's no way to verify that this person actually does have the information or not. So again, it is a roll of the dice, but ultimately scary all around for sure.
So let's address the new leads. For over 2 months, the investigation seemed to stall, but this week the silence was shattered. A series of mysterious random notes have been sent to media outlets, specifically TMZ, demanding payment in Bitcoin. These messages aren't just asking for money, they are providing specific, albeit contradictory, details. One note claimed Nancy is alive and being held in Sonora, Mexico. Another claims she is deceased and offers location for her body. The FBI is now racing to determine if these are legitimate leads from the captors or a cruel hoax designed to exploit a family's desperation. Tonight, we are looking at the Bitcoin blackmail that has changed the trajectory of the case. We'll examine the $1 million reward offered by the family, the political firestorm surrounding Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos, and the chilling timing of these messages, which arrived the very next day Savannah returned to work. Is Nancy Guthrie across the border in Mexico, or is this a digital predator playing a psychological game? The most recent development centers on a digital extortion. Multiple emails sent to media outlets have demanded zero point 0.5 in Bitcoin, approximately 35,000 to 40,000 for information. Interestingly, this amount is significantly lower than the $1 million reward the Guthrie family has already publicly offered. Former FBI agents suggest that this low demand is a major red flag, often indicating a scammer looking for a quick, untraceable payout rather than a professional kidnapper. However, investigators are not dismissing them entirely because of the specific geographic details included.
For sure.
So you said that the letter said that they claimed that Nancy is dead or alive?
Now, in a previous demand letter, they have claimed that outright that she has passed away, that the time has passed and time is no longer of the essence, and they have definitely, she has definitely passed on, unfortunately. So again, very scary to hear that, especially from an anonymous sender. The mind can play all kinds of tricks on you, and it can kind of, it kind of paints a picture of this really creepy villain, at least in my
Yeah.
opinion. I don't know. When you don't know who is sending, it can be very scary.
The Bitcoin right now is worth $67,000, but the family is offering that $1 million reward. So why not just go right to the family?
That's the $1 million question, literally the $1 million question. I mean, and that's something that the sender says. With $1 million on the table, I cannot believe nobody has come forward. And all I'm asking for is, you know, one Bitcoin, which is 67,000. But ultimately, if you wanted the most bang for your buck, what you would do is you would take that information that you allegedly have and give it right to the family for the money. Why are you coming to TMZ for 67,000? Go to the family for over 10 times more.
One specific ransom note alleges that Nancy Guthrie was seen alive in Sonora, Mexico, a state just south of the Arizona border. This claim has forced a coordination between the FBI and Mexican authorities. It aligns with a theory investigators have held since February. The theory is that a dark color SUV seen near the Guthrie residence on the night of the abduction may have crossed the international border shortly after. While there is no proof of life accompanying these notes, the mention of Sonora has provided the first specific geographic lead in weeks. As the search enters the 68th day, the investigation is facing intense internal pressure. The Pima County Board of Supervisors recently gave Sheriff Chris Nanos a 10-day deadline to respond to the questions regarding his leadership and the handling of the case. Critics, including members of the Guthrie family, have expressed frustration over the perceived lack of progress. Meanwhile, digital forensic teams are working to trace the origin of the Bitcoin ransom emails, which were timed to coincide exactly with Savannah Guthrie's return to air. To date, the only physical evidence that remains is a damaged ring camera footage showing a masked figure with a backpack and traces of blood at the scene. No suspects have been named and no arrests have been made. The case remains an active kidnapping investigation, with authorities urging the public to remain vigilant for any sightings in the southwest or northern Mexico. What is going on? What is going on with this case? This case has so many layers to it and it has taken so many different turns. What do y'all think? Put it in the comments. Do you think this is just some sick, sadistic, twisted scammer looking for an untraceable payout? Because who would accept 35,000 to 40,000 in Bitcoin? I think they're just looking for an untraceable payout, that particular scammer himself or herself, because the family is offering $1 million dollars in cash reward for any leads to the whereabouts of Nancy Guthrie. If it was me, I'd just take the $1 million and buy $1 million in Bitcoin, me personally. But one thing I did learn about this case is I definitely have to get some Bitcoin. But also, do you think the police could be potentially behind this? Because, hey, it is ironic that now we're getting some new leads after the supervisors board put the pressure on the sheriff, Chris Nanos. Now all of a sudden, soon as Savannah Guthrie go on air, they have new leads. Not buying it. I definitely believe the police department is definitely playing a significant role in the whereabouts and the kidnapping of Nancy Guthrie. I have no evidence to substantiate it, but it does seem a bit bizarre that now that police department has some leads soon as she go on air and return back to work. I'm not understanding it. It does seem pretty ironic to me. Or do you think that the other ransom note have any type of significance to it because they did specify a geographic location, Sonora, Mexico? Where did that come from? Obviously, it has some type of significance that the FBI is also, you know, uh, looking in that area. They also said that dark color SUV was sighted crossing the border. That's their belief. Why was they keeping and holding on to that theory since February? Doesn't make sense. But all I do know is this case is very disturbing. I don't know what to think. Do you think Nancy Guthrie is still alive? Put it in the comments. Do you think she has been unalive somewhere and her body is somewhere located in Sonora, Mexico? I don't know. But again, once again, it's been fun. I appreciate y'all for tuning in to What the Hell is Going On News. Stay vigilant. God bless. Peace.